All right, guys, welcome to Steady Income Trading. We are going to take a look today and see if we can do an early trade, what we call when we put a trade ahead of schedule. Our trade was scheduled for Thursday, the 30th. Today is Wednesday, the 29th. We did the trade yesterday, and given the circumstances, we are going to consider and see if it warrants putting on an early trade today. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, we have no idea if the market is going to continue to go down. We are down 0.66 for the day. VIX is up a little bit from 12 and change yesterday to 14, which is nice. And obviously, it's a 50-50 from here. So that's not the point. We're not trying to say, okay, we're going to do a trade now because we think the market is going to go back up. That's not the case at all. What we want to do is, we want to take advantage of a slightly increased VIX if our parameters are in line for an early trade. And right here on the main page, I pre-populated here the numbers, and it says that we are okay for an early trade. Although this is still a work in progress, and there's going to be more things to consider in the near future before flashing green for the trade. Right now, it only takes into account basically the buying power being at or under 1.5 the VIX. So if VIX is 14 and our buying power is under 14 plus 7 for 21, we would be okay considering assuming that the delta is also in line. And I'm still figuring out what the number would be for that. Probably around 0.15 would be a cutoff, most likely. I have to think about that as well. It also depends on the CAGR target that you have, because for me might be 0.15, but if your target CAGR is 12 or 13, you might lower that down as well. But that's besides the point. But right now, looking at this, it looks like we are fine because our buying power is only down at 14.7. Our delta is 0.15, and what else? Our notional is under 10. Units at risk. This is a new measure that we have here, and we'll talk about it some other time. And we're also monitoring Vega now as well. I know it seems like a lot of numbers around here, but keep in mind this is a simple trade that you do a couple of times per week, maybe even just once, and it takes 5 minutes to do it. So there is no harm in adding extra 5 minutes and collecting more data, because this will help us in the future when we go back and analyze and fine tune the trade, the system, if you will, that'll come in handy. So let's go and take a look here. So we are at 13 to 15 with the VIX, so 14. And that means we're looking for around 12 delta if we were to put a trade on. And we will put our standard trade, which is around, $400, $500, $600 in naked premium. So we'll go there and let's take a look here. So just, oops, what did I do? There we go. So let's close this one. And if we go here to MES, we'll go to, the VIX is still pretty low, so we'll go to 113 and we'll go to 12. So let's see right here. And if we go with 3, we're going to get around 500, and I think that's fine. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And as usual, we'll have to go back and plead with the market. So replace the order, get a code around there. This is going to now close, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 33.50. So let's do a little bit of math. 33.5 times 3 and times 5 means 502, and then times 0.2. That gives us both, roughly the width of the PDS that we're looking for and the total expenditure. So that would include our, $10 to $15 for the commissions and fees. So we're gonna try and spend around $90. So let's go to closest to 80 as a per trade plan. Sometimes I tend to go a little bit too short. The trade plan is around 80 closest, so let's go with that. And also we would like to stay over 30 or above in delta. So we don't want to do this one because obviously we have a short one here, so that will not work. So we can, if we go down a little bit and go for 100 wide, that would be fine because we're spending 82, so that's fine. But let's see what else can we do. If we go a little bit higher up and do this, that would be too expensive, but this would also work. So you see, we can either do 75 wide and go a little bit higher, or go 100 wide and go a little bit down. Now, something to keep in mind when we're making these decisions for early trades, we want to make sure that our wipe loss, in case of all the trades getting out, getting closed at stop loss, is acceptable. So 7%, that's perfectly fine. It's around just under 5,000 if everything gets stopped out. And then we want to take a look at and see how much we're have here in some sort of defense for that event. But it's a bit misleading here, because if you take a look at the put debit spreads, you will notice that a lot of them are actually expiring on the 31st. So all of these here would not be counted. So we could only count on the ones that go from here. So it's a little bit more realistic to look at 7,600 in put debit spreads, which is still fine, nothing wrong with that. But we don't want to feel too confident thinking that we have over 11,000 here in max value. So just something to keep in mind. But anyhow, let's go back here, and what are we going to do? We can, so we said either this one. I think we'll go with this one. It's a little bit less than, like, ideally we would do 100, but what we're getting in return, we're getting a very high delta here, and we're under the coast here. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, we'll have to please the market makers and replace this order with a slightly higher one. And all right, so that's now closed. So let's go ahead and record this whole thing, and then we'll fix these numbers here to show the updated numbers. So go to UOTS page here. So trade 71 MES and today's date, and oops, what am I doing wrong? Right here. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please support the channel by liking and subscribing. We would appreciate that for sure. And VIX was 1404, 40.04. Our delta was 12, and our strike was I think 4,800, 113 days. Let's do this real quick. 114 days out, and we received 33.50 for 3 naked puts, so that's all right. We also did this MES, and the strike 52.50, 52.50, and then 51.75. That was in 79 days, I think. Was it not? 79, yes, and we paid 17.75. So minus 17.75, and we did one of those. So we did that now. So we're all set here. We go back to the main page. Something here to notice is that our next trade is now scheduled for Friday, and today's Wednesday, so 2 days. Yeah, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and just check the deltas, which should now be higher. We go to 116 and 59, 116 and 59, and our Vega will be minus 727, minus 727, and the buying power is going to be a little bit higher as well. We're going to refresh it. 16.8, still pretty acceptable. 16.8. Our notional went up to 10.59. and our units at risk are now at 3 even. And that'll do it. If you'd like a copy of the best spreadsheet in the business, all you have to do is sign up for our Discord. Link is in the description below. And don't worry, you can cancel anytime and still keep your spreadsheet. But we look forward to seeing you in our Discord, and have a fantastic rest of the day. Any questions, by the way, before I leave? If not, have a great rest of the day. Bye.